Good afternoon, everyone. Warm welcome from Popes Marshall. We welcome you to first virtual meet arranged by Arab Pharma Manufacturers Expo 2020. In these crucial times and in the crunch situations, this is the only way we can interact with each other and stay in touch and let the show run by its own pace because the show must go on. So we would like to have a presentation on intelligent steam systems for formulation and injectable industry in the pharmaceutical plants. So this presentation is made typically for a Middle East and the North African countries where there are most of the formulation plants and the injectable plants and the new plants are coming up many in this region. Just a brief introduction about Forbes Marshall. So Forbes Marshall is a 70 years old company, and we have been doing the benchmark exercise in many of the industries such as textiles, paper, chemicals, rubber, tire, all these industries, and pharma and chemicals as well. So we have extensive study and extensive analysis of various pharma plants in the Middle East, in the North Africa, in India, and the collective analysis of all the database what we have. We have tried to compile all that data in a short of a in form of a short presentation. And this topic is intelligent steam system for formulations and injectables. So I would just brief you what we will cover in this presentation. So we would like to tell you what are the modern steam systems or what are the next gen steam systems, how to take over the problems which we are facing in the conventional steam systems, and then what is the intelligent aspects in the steam systems. Means how we can use the digital technology which is available today and which we need the most in these situations. How do we use the digital platform in the steam systems and connect everything on a piece of laptop and analyze all the data. So I will begin. So this is how the conventional steam systems looks like. So if you see, this is a boiler, the steam boiler and the feed water. So typically we look at the steam systems from complete perspective, like steam generation, then steam distribution, then utilization, and the condensate recovery. So if you see the typical steam system in a pharmaceutical industry or a formulation plant, this is how the plant looks like. This is the conventional steam system or the modern steam system. So what is the difference between the conventional steam system and the intelligent steam systems? So this is how we define the intelligent steam system, where there is an interface between the hardware and the software. So whatever the data which we are monitoring on the devices, we can compute all that data on a piece of software, and we can analyze all that data together. So like in for the boiler, the boiler health diagnostics, like what is the steam flow meter, gas flow meter, or the diesel flow meter in the boiler. We can compute all that and keep it in the boiler. Then the steam flow metering, plant wise, equipment wise steam flow metering. Then the insta hot water generation. Then the FMTMs, which is a trap monitoring systems, the critical traps which we can monitor. We can monitor the uptime of the steam traps. Then the condensate recovery factor computation. How much is the condensate recovery possible in the plant and how much the plant is doing. And the condensate recovery meter, which actually measures the condensate going back to the feed water tank. So all this digital inputs coming to a same platform will make a complete steam system truly intelligent. So let's go ahead. So this is our typical analysis of the formulation plants. What are the gaps in the formulation plants as far as the energy mapping is considered? So based on our extensive analysis and extensive survey of more than 1,000 pharma plants across Middle East, North Africa, India, and Southeast Asia, we have come to this slide, which is a very important slide, where we show the savings potential of almost 25% in any pharmaceutical company. So this 25% of the savings comes from the two aspects. So one is by improving the steam to fuel ratio, which is to do with the condensate recovery and the boiler house improvement. So condensate recovery can contribute 8% of the savings and optimizing the efficiency by 5%. And second aspect is improving the steam consumption inside the process, which is outside the boiler house. So which consists of steam trapping, which is 6%, and then the small aspects like pressure drop, temperature controls, leaking. So all in all, we envisage the 25% potential in any of the formulation plants, and which we take care during the design stage, or which we can do if the plant is existing. We can find out this potential. So typically, steam balance or a steam mass balance, if you see in a typical formulation and an injectable plant, so you will see in the pure formulations, the major equipments are FPD, autocoater, humidifier, and hot water generators, and then the sugar syrup vessel and the manufacturing kettles. All these aspects. And on the contrary, on the formulations and the injectable plants. So formulation and injectable plants, we mean the small volume parenterals, which consist of injectables like ampoules and the vials, and the large volume parenterals. So in these injectables and the formulation plants, we have a clean room which consists of the pure steam generator and the WFI still. Then at times we have FBDs and the coaters, the dehumidifiers and the hot water circuits. So this is a typical layout of the steam generation and the consumption patterns. So what are the intelligent solutions we have come up with the equipment wise? So with our extensive study, we have identified which are the main steam users in the formulation plants, like fluidized bed dryers, autocoaters, dehumidifiers, press kettles, then hot water systems, pure steam generator and the WFI stills, autoclaves, sterilizers, bung washers, then the WFI and the purified water storage tanks, and the condensate recovery networks. So these are the typical steam hookups or the steam users. Majority of the steam in the formulation plants is used in these applications. So we have tried to put down our analysis areas of concern and what are the next generation or the intelligent steam systems for this kind of applications. So to begin with, the fluidized bed dryer or the autocoater. So typically the top 5 things which comes to our mind when we are doing the analysis of the data, the vast data. So there are the huge steam losses, because there are preset parameters on the control panel or the PLC which opens the bypass. Then higher ramp up times, the temperatures from in the peak winters when the operation start from a 10 degrees or a 15 degrees to the reaching to the process times. So you take higher batch timings or a higher ramp up times. Then product quality, at times it has the rejection or the rework. Then lower condensate recovery factor, which is because of a bypass open of the steam traps. So these are the typical problems in the fluidized bed dryers and the autocoaters which we have observed. And if you see in a typical diagram, we can see this is the air heater battery. So this is the steam control with the actuated control valve and the steam at a 3 to 3.5 bar, and the manual override of the condensate evacuation system, which makes the bypass open and the steam traps are bypassed. So this is the typical scenario in the fluid bed dryer or autocoaters. So how do we get over this? So this is what we have tried to do. Individual pressure reduction station for the fluidized bed dryers, maintaining the pressure of 3 to 3.5 bar, a consistent pressure. Then steam pressure of 1.6 to 1.8 bar at the inlet of the air heater battery, and the condensate removal by the steam operated pumping traps. So I would just like to take you through a so this is a small animation which covers what are the problems and how we have come over. So hot water generation systems is one of the major consumer of the steam in the formulation plants. So in the hot water systems, we have seen in the pH based systems, there is a temperature fluctuations of 5 to 7 degrees Celsius because of haunting of a control wall, then the scaling and the fouling of the pH aspects, then the bypass of the steam trap being opened for a more number of times, and the higher steam consumption because of a bypass opens. So, so if you look at the temperature profiles, when we typically set a temperature of 45 degrees Celsius in the hot water system, typically we have seen the temperatures overshooting to 50 degrees Celsius or undershooting to 42 degrees Celsius, which results in the compromise in the production. So how do we get over this with the intelligent and economical hot water generation system, which is a pH-based hot water system, completely skid mounted? So if you see what are the intelligent aspects of these hot water systems. So first it's monitor. It monitors, as you see from the screen, it monitors the steam pressure, steam temperature, steam flow rate, temperature transmitters at the inlet and the outlet. Then it diagnoses what is the temperature, it controls the temperatures, and then it predicts as well. So based on the difference between the pressures at the inlet and the outlet of the secondary media, we come to know what is the pressure drop across the pH, and we can predict the fouling. So we can have a diagnostics as well for the pH based hot water systems, which makes it completely intelligent and independent, and it can take its own course of correction. So these are some of the mimics of the intelligent hot water systems. So you would see that we can see complete primary and the secondary side. If you see the steam in and steam out, so we have a steam flow meter, temperature transmitters, flow meters on the water sides. Then it gives you what is the ideal steam consumption, what is the actual steam consumptions, and it also gives you the prediction of the prediction for the fouling. So when you have to clean the gaskets or when you have to change the gaskets, so we come to know about these dates much in advance. So this is the advantage. Going on to the next equipment, which is a paste kettle. So most of the places what we have seen is higher startup time, then fluctuation in the temperature as the control is manual, then lower condensate recovery factors, and the steam losses to the steam trap opening. So these are the typical issues, areas of the concerns what we have seen. So this is the on the left hand side you will see a typical paste kettle with only a isolation wall, on-off wall, and a steam trap with the bypass valve open. So how do we make it more efficient? So we put a PID based temperature control valve which makes a consistent temperature profile. Then optimize startup times. Then with the PRV, we maintain the pressure of up to 1.6 to 1.8 bars, and with the steam operated pumping trap, we ensure that there is no loss of the condensate. Then coming to the dehumidifiers. So for the dehumidifiers, we have seen the similar data that the startup times are higher, the steam heating till 90 degrees Celsius and electrical heating thereafter. Then we have seen repeated coil punctures and the repeated problems of the condensate, low condensate recovery and opening of the bypass valves. So how we have addressed this? So we have seen that the steam is taken from a 3.5 bar tapping to a dehumidifier when we propose to have a higher pressure of almost 5 bar gauge for this application. Then optimize temperature control system and the individual trapping instead of a group trapping. So this is the proposed scenarios which makes the complete dehumidifiers truly intelligent in its sense. Then coming down to the clean room, which are the driving standards. In the formulations, clean steam applications or the pure steam applications comprise a very big amount of the steam user. Apart from the black steam or a factory steam, we also have a pure steam or a clean steam. So there are different types of steam purity standards. One is the US pharmacopoeia or the European pharmacopoeia. They define the grade for water for injection. Then as far as the steam quality is concerned, then we have a British standards, which are health technical memoranda, and the EN standards AN 285. And as far as the components and the steam system design is concerned, we have a ASME BP and ISP, which is British this biopharmaceutical equipment manufacturing or International Society for Pharmaceutical Equipments. So we do the system and the component design with this kind of aspects. So if you see clean rooms, this is a very niche market. These are a very special requirements. If you see, there are corrosion issues because the water which we are using is a purified water or a WFI, which is a very iron hungry. The material of construction has to be 316L. The surface finish, we have to expose the chromium layer, otherwise the material will be eaten by the steam. Then the prevention of the microbial growth. The designs have to be self-draining to avoid any condensate clogging. Then the surface finish has to be less than or equal to 0.5 microns RA. And the steam condition. The steam has to be dry and air-free. Then the correct pressure and correct flow rate. Also regarding the clean steam quality, the steam should not exceed the non-condensable gases and the dissolved oxygen should not go beyond 3.5%. Then effective periodic degasification has to be employed. Then superheat, it should not have any superheat, otherwise it will not give its latent heat as and when it is needed. The dryness fraction should not exceed 95%. So these are the typical requirements in the clean room area. So as far as the pure steam generation is concerned, so what are the typical concern? What are the typical areas of the concern? What we have seen is we are having a common PRS for a pure steam generator and the WFI still. The dryness fraction of the pure steam is always a point of question or a point of debate. There are no systems which can predict or which can calculate the dryness fraction of the steam. Then fluctuating pure steam pressures, which goes to the autoclaves and the sterilizers, and ineffective condensate discharge, and fluctuation in the process temperatures as well. So what we recommend in this gist, we can show you that what are our typical recommendations. So so we recommend the individual PRS for the pure steam generators. The steam is given to the pure steam generators and the condensate evacuation system for the pure steam generators. Then once the pure steam is generated, the pure steam is distributed to a process equipments, to a sanitary moisture separator or clean steam moisture separator, through a clean steam traps. Then we also have a sanitary heat exchangers where you can do the steam sampling, the pure steam sampling, and you can do the condensate of the pure steam should comply to the WFI standards, either US pharmacopoeia or European pharmacopoeia. So in this case, we can validate the quality of the steam. Then we can have a modulating control valves for the pure steam applications. Then sanitary safety valves, sanitary temperature control valves, which goes to the autoclaves. So in the autoclaves, in the chamber, we have to inject the live steam, which has to maintain a 121 degrees Celsius steam, 121 degrees Celsius temperature for a period of 40 minutes or 35 minutes. And while in the jacket, we have to provide a black steam with the process trap, which will maintain the temperature in the jacket, and the pure steam will maintain the temperature inside the chamber. So this is the way we recommend the ideal hookup for the pure steam generators and the ideal hookup for the pure steam distribution, pure steam utilization, and the pure steam condensate. Most of the places, the pure steam condensate is drained to the atmosphere or drained into the centralized water system, but we can recover this pure steam condensate back to the feeder tank as well. So these are the typical applications and the benefits of a pure steam generator, and what are the intelligent steam systems in the pure steam as well as the black steam systems. So these are the product ranges which we manufacture. So we have a pure steam steam trap, pure steam PRVs, modulating control valves, baffle type moisture separators, sanitary safety valves, and all of these are manufactured as per ASME PP standards. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back. Thank you. Called as a WFI still, water for injection still. So we have seen typically in the WFI steel applications, what we have seen, we have a common PRS. The pressure resistance station is common between the pure steam generator and the MCDP. And the pressure in the pressure at the inlet of the WFI steel is always fluctuating. If we look at the manufacturer's catalog, any of the manufacturer's catalog, they have given the range of pressure of the steam, the range of the pressure of the water, and what is the water consumption. So if we look at this, if we look at this graph, or if we look at this table, if we have a consistent steam pressure of more than 5 bar or a 6 bar, then there is a consistent output from the WFI still, and the DM water consumption also is very good. So it is very important to have a dedicated pressure association for the MCP or the WFI still, and a dedicated pressure association for the pure steam generator. Uh, so this is what is the proposed scenario by us. So this is the pressure reduction station, which consists of the inlet wall, outlet wall, pressure reducing wall, pressure reducing control wall, then the bypass wall, then the moisture separator and the strainer. So what it maintains is the consistency in the throughput of the WFI and the pure steam process. Then optimize steam consumptions. The steam consumptions are the ideal. So this is what we recommend in the clean rooms. In the clean rooms, the pure steam generators and the multi-effect still are always next to each other, along with the WFI tanks and the purified water tanks. So we recommend this kind of an arrangement for the pressure reduction, so that the steam is consistent in both the equipments and the output from both the equipments is quite consistent. Let's go to the next equipment, which is a WFI storage tank or a purified water storage tank. So what we have observed that the 3 to 3.5 bar gauge pressure is given to the WFI storage tank, where we have to maintain the temperature of more than 82 degrees Celsius to or 85 degrees Celsius to avoid any microbial growth in the WFI. So we have observed that the WFI is always in the circulation. It is always in the circulation, even though it is stored in the WFI storage tank, but it is always under the circulation. And the temperature to be maintained is always 82 degrees Celsius plus. So what we have observed is fluctuation in the temperature. The temperatures are never stable. The temperatures are going down from 2 degrees plus or minus to 3 degrees. Also, the lower condensate recovery factors. In the startup, the condensate or the steam loads are quite high. As the temperature starts achieving, the temperatures in the WFI storage tanks or the consumption in the steam in the WFI storage tanks starts tapering, and the steam losses also to the bypass walls. So this is what we have observed in the typical plants, and what we have recommended is a PID based temperature control system, which will maintain the consistent temperature of the WFI to be 82 degrees Celsius or 85 degrees Celsius with a plus or minus 1 degree Celsius. Then steam operated pumping traps, which will ensure the condensate recovery back to the feed water tank. There is no problem in the stalling conditions. Then optimize startup times, and the steam pressure, which we can regulate at a 1.6 bar or a 1.8 bar. So this is what is the recommended solutions for this. So coming back to our earlier slide, how we can make the complete steam systems intelligent. What are the typical aspects of the this intelligent steam systems, considering right from the boiler back to the condensate recovery system. So as far as the intelligent boiler house is concerned, so Forbes Marshall is manufacturing the boilers. We manufacture the boilers from 300 kgs per hour up to 30 tons per hour, and on a special request, we can manufacture the boilers up to 40 tons per hour. We manufacture boilers from a pressure of 1 bar gauge to up to 40 bar gauge or a 45 bar gauge. What is this intelligent boiler house doing? So we monitor all the parameters on the boiler with the hardware equipments. Like we have a steam flow meter which monitors the steam. We have a fuel flow meters. We have a O2 analyzers which measures the O2 percentage in the stack. Then we have a temperature transmitters which measures the temperatures of the ambient temperature, periodic temperature, stack temperature, and we analyze all this data in a software. So this is the monitoring. Then what we do is the continuous analysis. So we measure the pulse of the boiler. So what is the pulse of the boiler? So what is the direct efficiency of the boiler? What is the indirect efficiency of the boiler? What is the steam to fuel ratio of the boiler? What is the cost of steam? So all this continuous analysis we are giving back to the operators and the management. Then corrective actions. We also do the corrective actions based on the data analysis. This is all digital. There is no human intervention. All the data loggers are giving the data to the monitoring system. The monitoring system is giving the signals to the analysis system, and then it takes the corrective action. Like if the O2 is increased, then it gives the alarms and the indications that you have to fine tune the steam to fuel ratio, or the fuel to air ratio, the damper position, or the burner tuning is needed, or the temperature transmitters are not operating. It gives a signal, and also it gives the training and the guidance. If you see in the Middle East and the North African region, the temperature profiles are quite changing. If you see in the winters, in the early mornings and the late evenings, the temperatures are quite low, and in the during the day from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, the temperatures are quite high. So there is a temperature difference of almost 10 to 15 degrees Celsius in the atmospheric conditions. So this continuous monitoring systems and corrective actions given online will definitely make the boiler house truly intelligent, and all the parameters will be in our control. So this is how the architecture of the boiler house, the intelligent boiler house looks like. So we take the signals from the hardware, from the equipments which are installed on the equipments, which give the signal to the centralized HMI, and the HMI is giving a signal to the central processing unit. And this is the software which we have, Effisense or Eversense software, which you can monitor all the important parameters of the boiler house on a simple screen. And then you can have share this to the customer LAN network. And if we have a web connectivity for this software, then even remote users also can see this, or the people sitting back in India or back in Germany or anywhere else in the world, they can always look at this data remotely and they can give the inputs. So these are the parameters which we measure, then which are the calculated and which are the control parameters. So there are a list of parameters which are very important to understand what is the health of the boiler, and whether the boiler is running on the optimum capacity and the optimum efficiency, and what are the control parameters and what are the corrective actions which you have to do. So this makes the boiler house intelligent in its own manner. Second is the intelligent trap monitoring. What is the need of a trap monitoring system? Because trap is looked at as a commodity. Means no one is caring of the steam traps, but the steam traps is a very important aspect of a steam system, because this is the only equipment which understands the difference between the steam and the condensate. Otherwise, there is no equipment in the steam system which understands what is the difference between the steam and the condensate. So steam traps are the barriers between the condensate and the steam. So it is very important to identify whether the steam traps are working or the steam traps are not working, which will directly impact your uptime of the equipments, the batch timings and the steam consumptions, and at the end, your gas consumptions or your fuel bills. So what do we do in the trap monitoring systems? So if you compare the different types of trap monitoring methods, so today the customers or the majority of the pharma industry are doing the visual inspection with the side glasses, or the visual inspection by opening the bypasses, then manual temperature checking of the steam traps, then with the side glasses and the ultrasonic method. So if you see, we have mapped this with the different accuracy parameters, like whether it is accurate or it is having a continuous detection, which is online, whether it is user friendly or it needs a skilled labor, and what is the probability of a human error, and the type of failure mode detection, whether it is open or closed, or if it is closed, then how it is fail close or a fail open. So if you see, the online trap monitoring system is accurate, it's having a continuous detection, it's user friendly, it doesn't need a skilled labor, it doesn't have a possibility or any probability of a human error, and the type of failure mode is open, trap, failed, closed, and not in operation. All these parameters we can check. So I would just run you through a small video which will show these different aspects of the trap monitoring. What is the intelligent trap monitoring? So if it is a blue indication on the indicator, which means that the process is not in operation, the steam is not used. If it is a green, then the trap is working. If it is red, then it is a leaking live steam. And if it is a magenta, it indicates that the trap has failed and it has waterlogged. And you can observe that in the process. So let me take you through a 1 minute small video. can go ahead. So if you see, the condensate recovery is the major aspect in the formulation plants. But if you see the typical challenges in the formulation plants, we see the equipments are quite scattered. If you leave apart the clean room, which is having a pure stream generator or MCDP, and the WFI storage tanks, purified water storage tanks, and the SIP systems, only these set of equipments are at the same point of or same place. Otherwise, if you see the small equipments like SIP systems or FBDs or auto coaters, all of these equipments are quite scattered as per the demand and what is the type of the factory, whether it is a oral solid dosage or liquid solid dosage. So based on this, many of the times the condensates are drained because the quantity of the condensate is not very big amount. If it is a 100 kg or 200 kg equipment, but if you count all these condensates put together, 200 kg condensate from 4 or 5 equipments, it's coming out to almost 1000 kg of condensate, which is drained. So typically, if you see, the cost of condensate is 15 to 20% of the cost of steam. So it is very important to recover the condensate, which is the purest form of water. You do not need any chemical treatment if you are doing the condensate recovery back to the pit water tanks. Also, condensate is it's a distillate of the steam, so you don't need any chemical treatment. Also, the TDS of the condensate is very good. It is as good as the very fresh water, so you don't have to add any oxygen scavenging chemicals, or you don't have to do a softening plant. Or so most of the places, what we have observed, that the condensate recovery factors are typically 60 to 65% in most of the equipments, and the condensate is recovered only from the major equipments, where the condensate is not recovered from most of the equipments which are scattered, which are away from the boiler house because of the fear of the distance. But Hobbs Merchant has a steam operated condensate recovery systems which can recover the condensate from any points. We have delivered the condensate recoveries up to 1 kilometer distance. If the plants are scattered, then the plants are having multiple operations, like the same plant is having a oral solid dosage, liquid dosage, ointments, injectables, large volume parenterals. In this composite pharmaceutical formulation plants, we have seen the layout of the pharma plant is quite big. And in those plants, we have given the equipment-wise condensate recovery systems or the block-wise condensate recovery systems, and we have delivered the condensate up to the distance of almost 1 kilometer. So it is very important aspect. The condensate recovery is a very important aspect of any of the steam and the steam systems. So these are the typical formulation plants and the temperature and the pressures what they are using in the formulation plant. So if it is a formulation plants, non-injectable plants, so the fluidized bed dryers, auto coaters, then hot water systems, dehumidifiers, test kettles, and others, they operate the steam from 2 bar to 4 bar gauge. And this is our intelligent condensate recovery pumps, which we call it as a flash jet pump, which recover the flash steam as well as the condensate. And it also comes with the condensate recovery meter mounted on that, which can have a 4 to 20 milliamp signal, and which can connect to your centralized SCADA or a centralized DCS, which can show you how much is the condensate recovery. So we can have a steam flow meter on the boiler, which shows you how much is the steam going inside the plant, and we can have a condensate recovery meters also for all the condensate recovery applications, wherein it will show you what is the condensate recovery factors, so and what is the losses. Similarly, on the injectable sides also, for the pure steam generator and the MCDP or a WFI stills, which requires a steam at a higher pressure, we have a flash vessels which can give the steam to a lower pressure steam of a 2 bar gauge, and we can use that steam for a sanitization purpose or a sterilization case application, or the tank sterilization applications, and the WFI storage tanks and the clean rooms. So all this condensate, if you are recovering, we will definitely have a zero leak and zero discharge plant. So this is our endeavor, and we have been working with many of the plants in the Middle East and the North Africa region, and we have helped many customers to have the intelligent steam systems in their operations, and we have designed various zero leak and the zero discharge plants. And these are some of our testimonials in the MENA region. So FIPCO, which is Alfat for pharmaceuticals, they are a large volume parenterals where we have supplied three boilers. And the complete steam system like this Pharma, then Agima International, Gunem Pharma, Pharmed, this Medinal in Algeria, then Microsynergy in UAE, and Oman Pharma, Egivet, which is a veterinary pharmaceutical factory, Vita Biotics. Vita Biotics is one in 6th of October, sorry, in Bulgal Arab. Then Life Pharma, Amun Pharma, Infa Mendis, Sofal, Onyx, Morgan Specialty, Lemon Cosmetics. So we have Forbes Marshall has delivered the intelligent steam systems and the intelligent boiler houses in many of the pharma companies in the Middle East and the North African region. Forbes Marshall also comes with their own service network. We have an offices in Dubai, we have office in Sharjah, we have a representation in Oman, then in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt, we have an office in Turkey. We are also covering North African region from this GCC territories. So we are well placed to serve the customer needs and to serve the demanding customer needs and the challenging times. We are helping the customers. Helping the customers do the commissioning of the boilers remotely with our assistance from many of the places around the globe. So Forbes Marshall, in a truly sense, is a trusted partner because of our innovative solutions, because of our intelligent solutions which are offering to most of the pharma companies. And during this COVID situation, we are envisaging a big boom in the pharmaceutical industry in the Middle East and North Africa and Egypt as well. Because these vaccines for the next 1.5 years, the vaccine supplies to most of the countries has to be mandatory. So we are well placed, we are well equipped to support you in all your steam system requirements in the pharmaceutical plants. We can help you design the boiler capacities, compressor capacities in the pharmaceutical industry, so that you do not spend more on the operational expenditure. So we can help you on the selection of the capital equipment, which can have a optimal fuel bill in the process time. Also, we can design the steam systems which will be safe, reliable, and maintenance friendly and environmental friendly. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for patient listening, and we look forward to more interactions like this. Thanks a lot.